Welcome to the Stock Workout, where we flex on the market to make gains. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Clover Health Investments Corp, ticker symbol CLOV. Now, to start off with, this video is for those who have a larger appetite for market volatility. And we're going to take a look at this stock. We're going to take a look at the short volume, the potential for a short squeeze, some price targets where it can potentially reach up to. It's had a huge day yesterday. It was up 85%. At one point, it was up over 100% at this point here, and then it did retrace. And now pre-market, it is at $23.45. And you've got to remember, only a couple of days ago, it was at $9. So it has over doubled in price. But how far can it go? That's the question. So we're going to take a look at a bit of chart analysis. This video is for those with a larger appetite, those interested in a short squeeze. Bear in mind, this is not financial advice and I'm just giving my opinion on this. So let's get into this. Clover Health. What do they do? So Clover Health Investments Corp provides healthcare insurances services. It uses its proprietary technology platform to collect, structure, and analyze health and behavioral data to improve medical outcomes and lower costs for patients. So that's basically it's a health insurance company. That's basically what it is. But the main question is about this short squeeze. Now, what's got everyone's attention is that Clover Health, see now, according to Ortex, so this Ortex put out this tweet, it says Clover has improved on its strong pre-market performance, up over 80% today, while short interest continues to rise. This was 20 hours ago, so this was on the 8th of June. It is now 9th of June pre-market when I'm recording this video. Estimated short interest is 45.56% of free float, with 51.2 million shares shorted. That is huge. That is a very, very high short interest. Now, if I just compare it to, for example, AMC's short float is at 22%, so 22.64%, and this has a short interest of a 45.56%. So it is over double the short interest of AMC. Now, that's nothing to take away from AMC. AMC has been brilliant, and I love to see this price action. And, you know, power to the people. I will say power to the people. The hedge funds have been screwing retail investors, so it's good to see this. And I hope AMC does carry on squeezing and going higher. But it is early days for Clover Health. This is a new one on the radar, so I thought I will make a video on this for everybody. So according to Ortex, 45% short float, short interest. Now, short interest change is up 3.21% from yesterday. Return shares is 299,000. Borrowed shares is 1.92 million. Now, the estimated short interest is of number of shares is 51.2 million. Now, if we go over to Finviz and we type in CLOV and we see how many shares are outstanding, so the short float, sorry, so the shares floated for this are 112 million. 112 million shares floated, and the short float on this is 36%. According to Ortex, it was 45%. So slight discrepancies there. This depends on what exchanges they take into consideration. So let's get rid of this. 36% short float. AMC was around 22%. And the shares floated are 112 million. Now, this is something to take note of. 112 million is the total shares that are floated for Clover Health. Now, if we take a look at AMC just as an example, AMC has 417 million shares. So for AMC has 4 times the number of shares floated, and they have done their offering as well, so they'll probably have a closer to 500 million now. So they have a lot more shares, and if AMC can run from sort of down here from $8-9 all the way up to a high of 77, and you know it's currently sat at around 55, then imagine what Clover Health can do with a smaller shares floated, by about 4.5, 5 times, and with a much higher short interest. So that begs the question, how far can it go? Now, if we take a look at the charts, it has had a huge run up. Now, as I was just saying about the shares floated and the short interest, now it has 4 times, 4.5 times less shares than AMC, and it has double the short interest of AMC, approximately double. So this can, and I will say this loosely, this can potentially go up to over 100 if it continues to squeeze. Now, the reason I'm saying that is if we take a look over at AMC, AMC was down here at around $12. It was even lower than that at around $10, and it has ran to highs of 77, and that's with 4.5 to 5 times the number of shares floated, and with not as much short interest as Clover Health currently has. So if this can go up to, between 5 and 7x, Clover Health currently has a lot more room to grow. We could see this hit $100 if that short squeeze comes into effect. Now, do bear in mind that short interest did change and it went up by 3.21%. So this is the people versus the hedge funds. This is a classic people versus the hedge funds. Same thing was happened with GME and AMC. We're now seeing with Clover Health. We're seeing with MVIS. We're seeing with NAKD. We're seeing with so many different ones. So let's do some chart analysis now. Price was hovering down here. We had a huge run up. So if we take an info line, just for those of you who are new to this, if we go to where we finished up yesterday, we've been up about 150%. 150% we've run up already, but what we need to take into consideration. So that I've got the 21-day EMA on the screen alongside the 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages. I've got the volume and the RSI. So volume yesterday on the 8th was at 735 million. Now the average volume in the last 10 days was only 102, so it is over 7 times its average 10-day volume. Market caps are currently sat at 3.28 billion. 7 times the volume, and you can see that via these huge green candles here. Even if I zoom out, you don't see huge green candles like this at all. Further back down here, we saw a run up when it went from $7 all the way to a high of $10, and that was back in April. But now we are seeing huge interest in this, absolutely huge volume, and the number of shares shorted at 51 million is absolutely huge, because the number of shares shorted are 51 million, and the share flow is only 112 million. So as that tells you that, share the short interest is 45%. It's just coming under 50% of the shares that are shorted. So huge volume, that's good to see. But the real issue now comes down to the RSI. So the RSI currently pre-market is sat at 89. After seeing a run up, yesterday we had an 85% run up, and now today we've had another 15% run up, 100% run up that we've seen. And now that the RSI is quite high, it is expected that we do see a pullback at some point. It's natural, it's healthy to see a pullback. We saw it on AMC as well. When AMC went into this overbought territory, went up to 89 here. RSI dropped, came down to 44, and we saw that price come down as well. But AMC is looking healthy as well. But this video is about Clover. So Clover Health has had a huge run up, and we are expecting to see a pullback because the RSI is really, really high. It's hitting 90 now. At some point today, I would expect to see a pullback before the next run up. Before we take the next leg up, I do expect to see a pullback. So for those of you who are looking to get into this, I wouldn't buy it right now, as it is quite high. I would wait for that pullback, and then we will hopefully see the next leg up with this. Even in this pre-market, volume, you can see it here. These three green candles here. This is the hourly chart I've got up. Really small volume compared to what happened yesterday. So we are looking for that volume to explode again. So do keep an eye out on the volume as well throughout the day. We need that volume to be quite high. But yeah, this does have the potential to run up a lot from where it is now. I mean, shorts are absolutely absurd. They're absolutely crazy to continue shorting this. When retail investors have hooked onto this, latched onto this, and now we know how much is shorted. We know what the share float is. We know what the short float is. So we know how many short shares there are, 51 million. You know, we're latched onto this now. Retail investors are latched onto this, and you know we are going to absolutely squeeze them hedge funds. It's already happened. It's already happened. I mean, with this, this is a bit of a newer one in the game at the moment. So, you know, people back here, they were surprised when it went from, nobody would have thought it went from $8 or $9, $10 to where it is right now at 26. Nobody thought that would happen, and that happened in literally 2 trading sessions. You can see it here. We were at on the 4th of June, which was Friday, we were at $9. Now we are nearly at $9. We are nearly triple where we are from last Friday, which is in the space of 1 and 2, and now this is the third trading day. So nobody thought that could happen, and that did happen because the shorts are being squeezed. So that's it for this video. That was an introduction into Clover Health, what is possible with this, what the short squeeze is looking like. Short interest is at 45% compared to AMC's, which is 22. So this does have a lot of potential to run up. AMC still has loads of potential, and so does GameStop. However, Clover Health has a lot of potential, and this is why I wanted to put it on everyone's radar. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is for those of you who have an appetite for short squeezes and for this volatility in the market. Do expect a pullback before we take the next leg up. If you appreciate that, drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you more content, and I'll see you on the next one.